What's up, everyone? John Wasserman here. Video breakdown time. Let's do Darryn Peterson, freshman guard from Kansas, who I have as the #1 overall prospect for the 2026 draft cycle. Let's break down why I think he's #1, what separates him from maybe Cam Boozer or AJ DeBonsa, and probably every guard over the last 10 plus years. I think he is that good of a prospect. So let's dive into what makes him different. And again, if you just don't know him that well, he's a scorer. That's his identity. And to me, it starts with the shot creation and how he's able to do it. I mean, he has such impressive command of his dribble. And just going back to these first two clips, I mean, he's got great timing. He's got great, visual, spatial awareness of how to find that empty space in the defense. And then we're going to see a lot of this, the stop-start stuff, freezing defenses with this dribble. You don't really need explosiveness. He just picks the right time to pull off these moves. Here again, he finds that empty space with the counter dribble. And so he finds so many different ways to get his shot off. And the command is what separates him. He always looks under control. He always looks as if he can see kind of 3 steps ahead of him where the space in the defense is. And you throw in the shot-making ability to go with that shot creation. And that's why you have such a high-level scoring prospect. Here's the change of direction. Again, recognizing where that space is and what needs to be done to get there, and using both hands. So just a very skilled player, but also his IQ and be able to read plays. How about athletically? He's not really known for athleticism. AJ DeBonsa probably is, known more for it, but I think it's a little bit underrated with Peterson. And here's a play where, he's going off 2 feet here. A lot of times this might be a floater opportunity, but Peterson's able to spring himself above the rim. Athleticism might show up more defensively for Peterson, but again, I think he's a little bit underrated in that department, and maybe that's because offensively he's so good with his footwork in the shot making, but that's really what fuels all of his scoring potential and the advantages he's able to create. Such a strong ISO game, again, just planting those feet at the right time, getting that separation, having the poise here, plenty of range. We saw in his first preseason game against Louisville, 6 threes. Of course, he's a big-time pull-up shooter. Percentage-wise, I think he can improve off the catch. It was below 30% for most of the attempts that I saw last season. But on the ball is really what separates him. It's creating that separation, hitting contested jumpers just like this. Right, he's also able to get to those spots. He's got the specialty shot making. I love that off 1 foot. That's something I wonder if he really practices, or he learned that one, or he got that one to go on the fly, just kind of knowing what type of footwork it would require to create that separation. I think with Peterson, another thing we're going to see is, and we'll get to it in a second, defensively, he's going to add a lot of value in this department. And it's maybe not the lockdown stuff, but he's super quick with his feet and his hands and making reads, and we're going to see a lot of these recovery type of plays. First of all, that's ridiculous hand-eye coordination. You see him here as a rim protector, using that athleticism to get up. He's got great timing. He really is good at kind of running through screens and taking the best route to close out on his man. Again, here's more of that bounce around the basket. He blocks a lot of shots for a guard. Almost reminds you a little bit of Dwayne Wade defensively in that department. That's just more about timing and, again, optimizing all of that bounce and athleticism, blowing up plays, right, jumping passing lanes. He's going to turn a lot of defensive plays into points the other way. Weaknesses, listen, there's not many. We're nitpicking here. Sometimes he forces shots. That just has something to do with being a #1 option and having a green light in high school. And we'll monitor this more when he's playing for Bill Self. I'm sure he'll have a tighter leash. But yeah, sometimes he tends to take some shots in tighter windows. Again, because of his confidence and his shot-making ability. Again, the shot creation, I think, is kind of a blessing in disguise when you can get your shot off anytime you want. But it's not a big-time concern. But, this will come down to efficiency in terms of how does he stack up against AJ and Boozer. I think he's going to be a little bit more efficient than DeBonsa. I think he just makes better reads. And, again, I'm really just not worried about the shot-making. 6 threes in that opener. And he seems to get better every single year with his range. So just a complete offensive package. And again, I got him at number one. I don't think I found a guard in recent memory that was this well-rounded, from his physical tools to his athletic ability to his skill level in terms of shot creation and shot making. He can be a playmaker when the game calls for it. I think he makes pretty solid reads, and defensively, he's definitely a plus. Again, it'll come down to efficiency, but I think he's a skilled enough player where we don't have to really worry about the shot selection. He's going to be able to make enough of those tough ones and carry Kansas late in games, something we saw back at Prolific where, when the game calls for it, he will take over. So my number one prospect entering the 2026 draft cycle, he's going to be a lot of fun to watch.